So the agenda was planned to have informational sessions as the first and last sessions, and then panel sessions for different career paths in between. The informational sessions can include topics on career trends and tools for stress management. So for example, on Tuesday, the first session at 10:30 is the welcome, and then at 11:45, we have a panel on research careers. For each session, you are able to select view details, and this will provide in-depth information on the sessions and how to access it. I'm going to select view details here. There are several ways that you can join the session. In this large black box, you'll see the join the stream button. When you select the join the stream button, it will open Zoom and ask you to enter your name and email, and then it will direct you into the session. And that screen will look like this. And then if you scroll down to the bottom, there are two other ways to join. So again, there's another Zoom website, website here that you can click on, and it'll do the same thing, the registration of your name and email, and then bring you in to the session, as well as if we do reach capacity, you can click the next link that will direct you to an overflow room where you can view the session on YouTube. And that link is right here. And that'll look like this. In the middle, there's further detail on the panelists. Anything that's blue, you can click on, so you can send a message, view profile, and then click on their name, and they may have a bio in there, further information about them. Whova also has some additional tools where you can like the session, you can take notes while you're watching the session, as well as you can add it to your personal agenda from there. When you select add it to my agenda, there are ways to also add it to your personal calendar on either Google, Outlook, or Apple. So let me show you that now that session on panel on research careers is in my personal agenda. Another great feature on Whova is this search bar where you can search a session name, location, or speaker. I am a nurse by training, so I'm interested in attending sessions that highlight research careers that can use my clinical background. So when I type in clinical, I knew I was going to misspell it. So when I type in clinical, you can see that this panel comes up that would be applicable to me. And then finally, if you are an NIH intramural trainee, please be aware that there are networking sessions available to you. If you don't see them on your agenda, you may be registered for a different ticket type like Natalie talked about. So please reach out to us if you are having any trouble seeing the network sessions. I'm going to pass it off to Emily to talk about the speakers and attendees.
Great. Thank you so much, Marlena. I'm going to share my screen as well. So like Marlena just showed us, walking through what the agenda looks like, the different kinds of sessions that we have. Under each of these event sessions, we have all of the speakers listed. This is a great place for you to start to network with the speakers, with other people who you meet at the Career Symposium, to learn more about what they do and start building that personal network of yours. So for example, here I'm in the agenda under this panel for research career session that Marlena mentioned. And let's say that during the panel, you really connected with what Sandra Bonnet is talking about. So go to Dr. Bonnet's speaker profile here. When you click on it, it will show you her affiliations as they're listed on LinkedIn. A lot of people will add their bio here as well, so you can learn more about their career path. And importantly, it also will link to the speaker's LinkedIn profiles. This is a great way to connect with them on LinkedIn as well. If you have questions for specific panelists as well, you can also hit send message. And this will allow you to type a personal message to them to ask them follow-up questions. So this is a way that you can find the speakers through the agenda itself, so through each session. You can also just search all of the speakers at the same time and see if you find people who are in a certain career path or in a certain role that you're interested in. So for example, like Marlena mentioned, looking for different research careers, if we just take all of the speakers and let's look for science policy. Here is a short list of speakers who are related to science policy. And again, you can click on their profile to read more about them, see their bio, as well as a link to their LinkedIn account. You can also connect with other attendees here as well, not just the speakers. In fact, we encourage you to talk to other attendees. Find people who are interested in the same career paths as you, and find times to meet up together and talk together about ways to support each other while you're doing this career exploration and doing this networking. So you can search all of the attendees here, or there's a great tool here under recommended that will show you different subsets of attendees who you may be interested in meeting and connecting with. So for example, here, anyone in the Bethesda, Maryland area, you have your location set to Bethesda, Maryland, aka almost all of the NIH intramural folks in the Bethesda campus, you will see all of their names listed here. You can connect that way. Here it also has my alma maters and a couple different interest groups. So this is a great way to find specific people that you're interested in connecting with. I'm going to turn it over to Vani, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about the community tools and other ways to connect with other attendees here.
Hi everyone. So I'm going to talk to you about this feature in Hua, which is called as community board. So once you have attended all the sessions, or you attending the session throughout the symposium, and you would like to connect with the like-minded people or people who are recruiting or the organizers, community board provides you that platform to connect with and do the networking. So I'm going to take you through some of the tabs that are available in the community board and how to access them. So first of all, here, if you can see my pointer, you have this organizer announcement, where if you click on view, you can actually see that different announcements that are going to happen throughout the symposium and get that updated for yourself. Then you have this another tab, which is a very interesting and important tab, which is called as meetups and virtual meets, which provides, and if I go into this tab and click on view, you have different kinds of meetups that are happening. And you can actually attend a in-person meetup or a virtual meetup. So over here, you can see the one which is shown over here, NIH Fellow Social Networking Event. It's an in-person meetup that is going to happen on May 17th in Bethesda. So if you want to attend this, you can just RSVP yourself. And for example, I have RSVP'd myself, so I'll be able to attend that. Apart from that, also there are different virtual meetups which you can attend according to your liking. Also, if you want to make up your event and get people who are like-minded and who share your common interest, you can just suggest a meetup by clicking on this tab and set up your meetup. So for example, if I click on virtual meet and click on next, you can enter the title of your meetup, provide some description, schedule the date and time and number of people you would like to have in that meetup, and just click on next and confirm your meetup event. Now, if I go back again to the community board, you have other interesting options, such as article sharing, where where you can share different kinds of articles that are related to job searches or a field of your interest with the people, as well as you can also follow all these different tabs by just clicking on the follow tab. In addition to that, if you want to sort of tailor your search in terms of the questions that you want to address, you are asking, or you want to get into the brainstorming session, you can just use this search topics tab. So now, for example, if I just type industry here and press enter, I can see that there are different kinds of events or discussion groups that are formed in this community board, where if to my liking, I can follow some of them and participate in the brainstorming sessions. Apart from that, you also have a job openings tab. So I just typed job. So you have this particular job openings tab over here. So now if you click on that, you have two tabs under this board, which is job openings, where recruiters and other people are posting the jobs which might be of your liking or which is your interest. Apart from that, you can also create your profile under job seeker by clicking on I'm open to opportunities, fill up your details and upload your resume. And that could be helpful if you are actively looking for the jobs or potential opportunities. And now, whichever tab that you are following in the community board, if you want to see that which all you are following, if there is a tab called as following tab, where you can see that where you can see that these are the different groups that I am interested in and I'm following and being part of the conversation. So this also provides you a platform where you can post up a question by clicking on this add new topic, and you just write the topic of your interest, post your question, and get people to join with you in that conversation. So this is a very active board, and I would urge you to actively participate in that and network as much as possible. Now I'll hand it over to Sharolyn.
Thanks, Bonnie. Yeah, so as you can see, the members of our committee and our staff members have brought you through. So we had Natalie take us through ticketing and access. We had Marlena show us how to use the agenda in Whova. We had Emily talk about how you can search speakers and attendees, and Bonnie went over community boards and meetups. So as Laura mentioned at the beginning, this is a really great opportunity for you to explore different career paths. The agenda or the actual event starts a week from today, but as you can see, there's a lot to do before then. So you can go in and map out, indicate which parts of the agenda that you're interested in going to. You can start networking with speakers and attendees. You can participate in the community boards. You can RSVP to meetups. You can hold meetups. And so Whova is a platform that really allows you to do a lot, not only during the event, but before and after the event. So please take the time this week to prepare for the event by going in Whova, making sure you know your way around, making sure that you're all set up to take full advantage of everything we have planned for the Career Symposium next week. And with that, that is the end of the attendee orientation. We're going to hang out as a group for a few more minutes, so you can put your questions in the Q&A. I know Laura has been answering those as we've been going throughout the session, but feel free to continue to put questions in the Q&A there, and we'll continue to answer them. Laura, do we want to read out some of the questions that have been? I know a common one is, will this be recorded? Yes, this is being recorded. It will be sent out to all attendees. Laura, do you want to take a couple more, or I can read through?
Sure, yeah. One of the questions that has come up a few times is, how do I get the link? So just in case you don't have the link, I'm going to put it in the chat for everybody. The extramural link is the one that I'm sharing now. So actually, I only have the option to put it in the answered question, so you can see it there. If you don't have it, you can certainly reach out to us at the NIH Career Symposium email. Let me read that out since I don't have the option to put it in chat. So it is NIH Career Symposium at od.nih.gov. And then some other questions that we received. Someone asked about dress for the event, which I think is a great question to think about. For the panels and talks, so if you're attending from the extramural community, you will not be sharing your camera, and so you don't have to think a lot about dress for this event. It's going to be largely informational. If you are an NIH intramural trainee and you're going to be attending networking sessions, I highly recommend that you turn your camera on for those sessions. We all know that networking works better when the person can see you and you can feel a personal connection with them. And so in that case, I don't think it has to be formal, but think about what dress you're comfortable with for having your camera on in a networking session with professionals. Someone asked about master's students, and the symposium is directed primarily to PhD graduate students and postdocs and research fellows. That said, master's students are welcome to attend, but most of the careers that people will be talking about will be from the angle of having a PhD. That doesn't mean that all of them require a PhD. Let's see. So somebody asked about job openings. This is not a job fair, I should be clear. It's about career options. It's about learning about what careers are out there. But there is a listing for job openings within Whova that you can take a look at. You'll find it under the community boards. And I looked at it earlier today and there are already a few there. So you may find job openings listed there throughout the event. Our office, OITE, also hosts a job listing on our website. And if you're thinking about training specifically at NIH, there will be a recruitment session on the last day, on Friday, the 17th. And so if you're thinking about opportunities to train at NIH, there's a session to come and both hear about finding research opportunities at NIH and then network with some representatives from the various institutes and centers. Oh, somebody asked about basically if I'm an international trainee, what are the options and is this only available for US citizens? Absolutely not. This is available for everyone. We certainly want you to come. And if you are an international trainee, there are a few sessions that are going to be particularly important and interesting for you. On Thursday, the 16th, the talk in the morning will be directed towards international trainees. It's about the job search as an international scientist. And so you will want to check that out. And then we also have 2 networking sessions if you're an NIH intramural trainee that are specific to international scientists in various fields in various countries. And so do look for those as well.
Laura, can you talk about whether attendees will have access to Whova after the event?
Yes, the event is going to be up for 3 months. And so you will have access for a fair amount of time. You will have access to the listings for the event. You will have access to the slides that will be there. You'll have access to the recordings from the panels and talks. You'll also have access to the attendee list and speaker list through Whova. That said, I can't promise you that other people are going to look at it later. And so if you are thinking about that primarily for networking with speakers, I recommend that you move conversations elsewhere, like to LinkedIn, early before they may move on and not come back to check messages on Whova later. But the event will be up for 3 months.
Laura, if you didn't already, or even if you did, can you talk a little bit about the offerings for international trainees? There's some questions about whether the jobs are open and what offerings there are for international trainees.
Yeah. So I can't speak to the jobs directly because basically that's a question that you should feel free to ask at the panels and in the networking sessions. I will say that this one good part about the symposium is that you're going to see a broad range of careers and the availability of visa options within those different careers are different. And this is a great place to learn about that. There are a few sessions, as I was saying, that are specific for international trainees. Thursday morning, the first talk on Thursday will be about the job search as an international trainee. And then if you're an NIH intramural trainee, we have 2 networking sessions also on Thursday that are international scientists in a variety of fields, in a variety of countries. So that's an opportunity to talk about their path. Some who have gone back to their home countries or to another country, and some who trained in the US and chose to stay in the US and how they did that.
I just want to answer a question that's in the Q&A. Your Whova registration ID should be in the bottom of the email you received when you registered for a Whova ticket. So if you're looking for a registration ID, I know that's asked for if you're trying to get in the mobile app. That's where you can find your registration ID. We're getting some questions, Laura, about people who are in fields that are adjacent or outside of biomedical fields. Can you comment on who the primary audience of this symposium is?
Yeah. So the primary audience is biomedical graduate students and postdocs. I think that the field that you're currently in is less relevant than where you want to go, right? And so if you are looking for a career in the biomedical space in basically any biomedical research or non-research role that aids the biomedical enterprise. Those are the careers that we're covering. And so my advice is take a look at the agenda and see if it looks like the sessions meet, kind of match with your goals. And that's probably the best way to make that decision. But the field that you're in right now matters less than are these careers that you're interested in moving into.
I'm still working through the Q&A. There's some questions about how to log in. Can you summarize maybe one more time the path to registering and getting into Hoopa, Laura?
Yeah, Natalie, are you still there? You could take that one if you feel comfortable. No, perhaps not. So yes, when you register, there are two registration pages. One is for the general community. Anybody who's interested in biomedical careers could register via the general link. You will find that on our website. So if you Google NIH Career Symposium, you'll find that link. You'll also find the agenda there. Someone was asking for the agenda. It's on the website as well. If you are an NIH intramural trainee, we want to make sure that you have access to all of the sessions that are also for intramural trainees. And so you should register via a link that you received in your email. If you don't have that or you don't know how to get it, email us and ask. If you are a new NIH trainee and you don't have an NIH email address yet, just reach out. We can help you with that. If you already registered as an extramural trainee, but you are an intramural trainee, reach out. We can help you with that. So that's the actual registration page. When you register, let me just pull this out so I can share my screen quickly. So this is what it looks like. This is the general page for anybody to register. When you register, you'll choose a ticket. It's free. You go ahead and put your information in, and then at the bottom, you have this opportunity to register to create a Whova account. I recommend that you do this as you register. So there are two things that you need to participate in the event. You need a ticket, which you're registering for on this page, but you also need a Whova account. You need both. And so here, if you create an email and password and say, yes, I want a Whova account, then you have both right from this page. If you don't do that, that's okay. But when you receive that ticket and click on the link that comes in your email, you're still going to need to create a Whova account in order to log in. And so you need both things. If you have used Whova in the past for other events, once you log into Whova, you will see your information from those previous events. You won't see our event unless you also have registered for a ticket for the event. So you need an event ticket through registration, and you need a Whova account.
Just to note that I put in the chat a link to the event agenda that everyone can view outside of Whova. So if you really wanted to just see a quick sort of summary of the agenda, that is in the chat. I had one more question, Laura, about someone who I think is interested in uploading their job application materials, and they're asking about whether it should be a CV or a one-page resume to the jobs part of Whova.
Yeah, so you do have the opportunity within the part that the community board that I talked about that has job openings. It also has a tab for job seekers. So you do have the ability to put information there. I tend to think that for this venue, a one-page resume is more appropriate as people are scanning. They're probably not going to spend a ton of time. And so you want to have, like, if they're looking there, you want to have the information you want them to see most right up front. That said, I don't think you have to put a ton of time for this specific event into creating a new document. If you are somebody who's looking for faculty roles and your primary, for the jobs that you're looking at, you're going to be using a CV. You don't have to totally rework everything. But I'm guessing if you're putting your information there, really, you're not looking for faculty roles. You're interested in networking on the platform. And in that case, I think a shorter resume that has the information right up front that you want them to see first is going to be the most useful. A lot of people asking for the link, and Sharolyn, I think because you're the host, you may be the only person who can post in the chat. Could you post both links, or could you post the extramural link in the chat?
Yes, I'll do that right now. Thank you.
Thank you. A couple of questions about working in specific institutes. I will actually just redirect you for those to the sessions next Friday on the 17th. If you're looking for information about positions at NIH, then that is the session for you. That said, they were asking about DCEG, and there is currently a hiring freeze in NCI, so I'll put that out there too.
I think maybe just a couple more minutes. If you have a question, go ahead and put it in now. We'll be wrapping up in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah. There's a question about receiving notifications for upcoming events. We do have a listserv for our OITE events. It's OITE-info. Maybe we can get the link for joining that. Let me grab it.
I just put a link to our website under resources for all. There's instructions for how to join the OITE info listserv where you can get those notifications.
Perfect. Thank you, Sharolyn. And someone else is asking for the link. Sharolyn just put the registration link for the event for the Career Symposium in the chat. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Thank you all very much. If you do have more questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. So I'll just say the email address again. It's NIH Career Symposium at od.nih.gov. And Sharolyn, maybe you can pop that in the chat too. If you have trouble registering, you need help changing your ticket type, any trouble accessing the event, that's the email address to reach out to us. Okay, thank you all.
All right, thank you, everyone. Looking forward to seeing you next week.